We might have a trio this week, but it's not the trio you're used to. Ooh. Ooh.
What you want to do in this season necessarily.
What you're gonna do. Oh. It's not going to be as fun to make that reference now. Well, I was going to say, it's not going to be as fun to make that reference now because both of the people involved in that we found out are shit people.
Supposedly.
Well, yeah. But didn't we know that before?
We did.
It's really news. So, yeah. Anyways.
She devil by night. Anyway, hi.
Oh,
hello. Welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay, I have a little bit of my caffeinated lemonade situation that I've been drinking on because I'm wearing the same shirt that I wore for 2 other podcasts that I just filmed for DragRace. So, I may or may not be doing them back to back. I do have water.
Peter?
I really didn't feel like changing shirts. I gotta be honest. Because today, David, you are not the only one wearing a cute shirt.
Oh.
Now, I'm not wearing a Drag Race Queen shirt, but I am wearing a shirt from some of our fellow Drag Race podcasters. So I am wearing this lovely, wonderful shirt. We will talk about it. Which is merch from Movie Bitches. So shout out to Movie Bitches. They sometimes cover Drag Race, and I really like them. I met them at DragCon last year, and they are very pleasant individuals. So shout out to them. But if I was drinking things, which hard segue to the other way, I would be drinking things out of a cup mug. And you could get yours at lanagcreations.etsy.com. Link is in the description below. We do ship domestically within the United States and internationally to, I think, almost every country in the world. So there are no excuses, period.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute shirt. Dang it. What is wrong with me lately?
He doesn't have a cute intro, but he does have a cute shirt.
I do. And I just figured out, I'm wearing a shirt of somebody who lip sync against Roxy Andrews and lost, sadly. See me with them hands. Yes,
See
Tatiana.
Me with them hands.
We love some Tatiana.
We
do. I would love to see her again. Not necessarily with my hands, but with my eyes.
I don't think she's ever coming back.
People say that and they change their mind. Like Laganja just changed her mind. Very publicly.
She still hasn't been back on, and I'm glad for it.
You know who else changed their mind?
Who? Detox. That's another one I was going to say.
You know who else changed their mind? And Roxy.
Okay. Well, yeah, so I'm wearing my Tatiana shirt, and I'm drinking some water.
Wonderful.
Ooh.
And hi, hello. I am River, your Brazilian Drag Race fanatic. I am with my ER mug today in honor of Megami, the Lipsync assassin. And I'm drinking some water because I am constantly drinking water. And hydration is important.
Relatable content.
And I will try to get my cup mug whenever I can, as fast as I can. Yes.
Wonderful. Yes. Well, we're diving in. It is episode 8, despite what David's coworker might have told him. It is episode 8 of Drag Race All Stars 9. We are officially 2/3 of the way through this season. I know a lot of people online are saying this season is boring, but I have to disagree. I think this season is really, really fun. I really like the season. And I thought this episode was fine.
I liked the idea. I liked the concept of the challenge. I don't know if the execution was necessarily up to par, like to the concept, but still, it was still good. Nobody did bad.
Yeah, I agree. It's not my favorite episode. I think some of one thing in the judging was a little weird to me, and we'll get into it. But for the most part, I was like, oh, I really agree with the judging. It's just one thing that I was like, wait, what? Really?
this is the first episode of the season where I 100% agreed with the top two, no doubt in my mind.
Okay.
This is the clearest episode of the season for me for this season. But we're going to dive into all of that stuff. But
the ball was
I did agree
pretty
with the ball.
clear as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I disagreed with the tops that week. That's what I disagreed with.
Oh.
But I even agreed with the tops this week.
Yeah.
This
is the first time where I agreed with everybody in the top 4 and the top 2. So yeah. But
one person shockingly in the top, but we'll get into it.
We'll talk about it. I'm excited to talk about it. Before we do, make sure to subscribe if you have not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things drag. And we're back to kind of sort of having 4 Drag Race franchises at once. Yeah. God help us all. Speaking of, make sure to go check out our cast assessment for Canada's Drag Race Crave Original, Canada versus the World Season 2. We had a lot of fun. That was River's first appearance on the channel. So go support them on that video because love it. And make sure to check the description below for all of our audio podcast links, our YouTube channels, and our Patreon for exclusive content and early access to a lot of our content, including early access to all of the Look Over Here episodes for the current Drag Race franchises that we are covering. So, yes, we dive into this episode. And it's already drama. We come in. Angeria has won her 3rd lip sync, has cut off Gottmik. Gottmik comes in and is like, you're playing a different game. I'm playing fair. You're playing chess. But before we dive into that further, I completely forgot that we planned before this podcast started to give River their moment, because they have not been on for the first 7 episodes of this season. So we would like to give you your moment.
Actually, can you start from season 1 of Drag Race and go from there?
No.
How many days do we have? Okay.
Not enough.
Don't get into it because you see.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta play the button though, River.
But you get more than 60 seconds. We'll let you go.
You get more than 60, but
okay.
This is your moment. Have it.
Well, not the ticking. That. No. Okay.
Here. Okay. Just go. I stopped it. Just go.
So for episode 1, my favorite entrance was Gottmik.
Sure.
Not necessarily because the look was extravagant or anything, but that wig by itself that was a moment. And my least favorite was Nina. But it wasn't, I didn't hate it. It wasn't bad. It was just my least favorite. And then for the runway, my favorite was Plastique, like by far. And my least favorite was Vanjie. Honestly, not lining a dress for All Stars, no. For a regular season, sure. For All Stars, no. And then my top 2 were actually Plastique and Georges.
Oh,
fair.
Instead of Angie and Georges. I really didn't. Fair. I think Angie did well, but she wasn't my favorite, honestly. Neither on the challenge or the runway. She fell in the middle for me, but I'm not mad that she won or anything, but it wouldn't be my choice. Anyways. I did agree that she won the lip sync against Georges, though. She did, for sure. Then for the ball, I agree with the 2 winners. For both, or actually for all of the categories, my first and second favorite looks were either Gottmik or Plastique. So, yeah. And then my bottoms were Angie for the first 2 categories. Even though I love Angie, her ball package was probably my least favorite overall. But my least favorite of the outfit they made there was Nina, because I don't need to get into it, obviously. And I also think that Gottmik won that lip sync, even though that song choice was very questionable on the producer side, but for Snatch Game, my favorite was Gottmik and Angie. I really didn't think
Thank you.
Nina.
Thank you.
Nina was my third favorite. She would have been in the top for me still, but she was my third favorite in the challenge. And because her runway was not really one of my favorites, I don't think she would have been in the top for me. My favorite runway was Gottmik. So for me, my top two would have been Gottmik and Angie for Snatch Game. For the makeovers, I think for me was like the most robbed challenge, because for me it was the most obvious win by far.
Mm-hmm.
With Plastique and Georges and Angelique,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
not a so could clock and period. Anyways, and honestly, Roxy and Benji were not even my. They were not even my second favorites. My second favorites were Gottmik and Nina. Anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I disagree that Roxy and Benji tied on the lip sync. For me, Roxy won. But Vanjie did well, so I wasn't mad that they tied. And it gave that story of like them both having to decide someone to cut together. So like, I'm happy for that. For the real estate ads, for me, I think Angie and Vanjie were my favorites in the challenge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because honestly, to me, it was the funniest. To me, the challenge was supposed to be funny, making fun of real estate commercials and how stupid they can be, and like just make it the campiest possible. And I think they did that for me. And then for the runway, that was like the reveal. My favorite was Gottmik and Vanjie. Vanjie's Pretty Woman was just.
Oh, the Pretty Woman.
Her hair, I need to see Vanjie with that hair color, like that, like kind of like cranberry color, like red.
Yes.
And she looks so good. Then for the roast, for me, it would be Angie and Georges in the top, to be honest, because Georges did so well on the challenge, and she had one of my favorite runways, and also because on the challenge before, they kind of gave the win to Plastique because of her journey of not being funny usually in those types of challenges and then being funny in that. And I don't understand why they didn't do the same for Georges on the roast. Like it was literally the same storyline, and they were like, no. Anyways,
No.
yeah. And for the first time this season, my favorite runway was Nina with the Atomic Blonde. I don't know. I just think that she took it where I wanted. I would have, you know what I mean? Like it was just, and it was unexpected for her. Like very polished. The only thing I didn't like was like the shoe, but yeah. And then for the last episode, the acting challenge, for me, Angie was the best, followed by Nina. And for the runway, for me, it was Vanjie and Gottmik were the best. And then my least favorite in the challenge, unfortunately, was Chanel. And my least favorite on the runway was Georges. She looked like Balagoth, the Sim.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I hadn't thought about that until you said it, but now that you said it,
Because also I'm actually wondering if that was not her inspiration, because Bella's story is that she's like a sugar baby.
It wouldn't surprise me if that was the story.
It was kind of like he died, and then she was like, anyway, and then she got the mansion, whatever. And I agree with the top two. It would have been Angie and Nina, and Angie won that lip sync because period.
Her.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then we'll get into who I think should have been the one with the most badges and like the badge situation. We'll do that at the end.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Love it.
All right.
Love it. Now you can take a break, River. You're good. I'm happy. It seems
My
like
throat hurts.
Literally, I know the feeling. It feels like your opinions are very on par with where we are at for the most part, which, you know, never mad at that. But yeah, okay. Circling back, let's dive into this Gottmik Angie situation in the workroom where Gottmik is like, you're playing chess, I'm playing fair. When Angie was literally playing fair because Gottmik cut her off like 5 weeks ago.
I have a theory as to why Gottmik was so upset.
Because
I think, do you remember that? Was it that episode that on Untucked that she was very quiet and she was like clearly upset? I think it was the roast, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it was the roast.
And then she kind of got herself back together after that, and then being cut off right after she got back up, like I think that kind of got her frustrated. And even more when she found out what the challenge was going to be, she was like, you know.
She's like, well.
That's why she was so upset.
Fair.
Because she was like, why keep me when I'm down? Like, I was just crying last episode, like feeling bad for myself. And I'm like, now you cut me, you know?
Right.
Especially because she's not the front runner in like badges.
Mm-hmm. Not anymore.
Not
yeah,
anymore.
but still, I think it's fair that she cut Gottmik because I would have. It was a smart choice, clearly.
I would have cut Plastique. Easily.
Yeah. I mean, I would have been between Plastique and Gottmik, but still.
Yeah. David, any thoughts on this drama?
Not really. I just I wish Angeria just owned up to the fact, like, oh, and you cut me before a little bit sooner. Like, it seemed like she kind of went around in circles, like, oh, I wanted to use Plastique's math, which was not Plastique's math, and they called her out for it because you don't have the same amount as Gottmik. Plastique had the same amount as you,
and then she had to circle back, and she was like, but at the time before I got my third badge, I did.
Right.
It's just like, okay, just say you cut Gottmik off because Gottmik cut you off. Like, that is a fair strategy. If that's the way you're going to play, great. I agree. I love Angie to pieces, but I wish she had been a little bit more upfront and forthright with it. Being like, this is like, you cut me off, I cut you off. And when Gottmik was like, oh yeah, I did cut you off, I was like, yeah, girl, you did. Like,
yeah.
Come on. Anyway, we come into the workroom the next day. Everyone's got their badges on. RuPaul walks in, and we have a mini challenge again. And I really like that we're having mini challenges on All Stars again.
I love.
And we had quick drag on All Stars.
We had pretty good quick drag too.
I was just saying,
Gottmik's look.
Can we talk about Gottmik's look? What designer look did she throw on for this quick drag mini challenge photo bomb situation?
Right.
I mean, was this a runway that they didn't use or something? Like, what?
I honestly think that's just an extra gown she brought. Because that's the level of Gottmik's drag. Like, that's the level that we're working with here. Like,
no.
Who were the standouts for y'all in the mini challenge?
I don't know, because I thought the mini challenge was weird because they were photo bombing places.
Yeah, it was just like photobomb a travel destination because we have this luggage company sponsoring us this season. So we have to figure out a way to incorporate this luggage and also do something with this luggage. I wish
but they could have done it better. They could have put pictures with like tourists on the street and then they would have to photobomb like the tourists.
Exactly.
Hello?
What I think what I think would have been the better strategy for this is take this away sponsorship, add it into the real estate challenge you did a few weeks ago.
Right.
Travel to middle of bumfuck nowhere, Texas. Travel to Frosty Tips, Alaska. Like hand fist that into that challenge then. Like it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I will say the two that I thought were the funniest were Nina and Angie.
Yeah. For me, Angie's always funny. So like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the only two I can, like, I'm sitting here trying to remember. Those
I'm,
are
like,
the only
trying to
two that I
remember,
clearly
yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they didn't want to give Angie more money for her charity. So that's why Nina won the mini challenge.
Yep.
Because how many times this season have we heard Nina talking about raising money for Trevor Project? And Drag Race works very closely with the Trevor Project. So of course they're going to want to give Trevor Project some more money. So you know what? It was a completely inconsequential mini challenge. Trevor Project gets money. Nina didn't even get to pick her fabric first. So like, whatever. It is what it is. So... because then we go to the Maxi Challenge, which is a design challenge. I am happy that we got another design challenge on this season. And this one is inspired by RuPaul and all of her hit song.
I love RuPaul's music. She is usually my second or third Spotify most played artist.
Oh. Really?
I love Mother. I love
her
listening
music
to in the shower, like singing, and it's just so much fun to like get ready and get started, or like cleaning, you know.
Yeah.
Favorite song?
Oof. Currently, oh my god, I think Just What They Want is one of my favorites.
Work.
I love I Bring the Beat. Love to like walk. It's just so much fun.
It reminds me so much, like even hearing it in this episode, I was just we heard it in this episode, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and the Christmas song also.
That's
I Bring the Beat.
What song are you?
Isn't that the one?
That was George's.
Okay.
George's.
Yeah, I'm like, it just reminds me of Canada's Drag Race because they walked the runway. At least season 4, I think they did.
It was season 4 they did it.
Okay.
I Bring the Beat is actually my favorite RuPaul song.
See, you have taste.
So yeah, thank you. I know. David, what's your favorite RuPaul song?
Probably Call Me Mother.
Valid. Also taste. For a minute, it was a little overplayed because I feel like there were like 4 or 5 different franchises that used it either as like a lip sync or like a runway situation. But but yes, so we're designing based off of RuPaul's songs. And because Chanel was the first queen to walk into the workroom, and also because she doesn't have a badge and they wanted to give her the best possible chance to get a badge in this episode, she got to pick first. But of course, she picked the Christmas box. Of course.
And a total of 0 people.
And that still didn't get her a damn badge.
Spoiler.
I wouldn't have given her one this episode.
Did you think she was going to win with the Christmas look, though? Like,
yes!
I love Chanel, but do you honestly think she was going to win with the Christmas look? Like,
no, but like
he and Gottmik.
No, but like I love Chanel. And
I get it.
We'll talk about Chanel more because there's a lot of Chanel to talk about. So here are all the songs, not in order, but here are all the songs that the girls got. So we have Angie got Cake and Candy. Gottmik picked New Friends Silver, Old Friends Gold, which is the box that Plastique wanted, and we heard her talk about it for like a solid minute. George's got I Bring the Beat. Nina got last pick and was left with Cha Cha Bitch. Plastique took Star Baby. Roxy gets Lady Cowboy. Chanel picked Hey Sis, It's Christmas. And Vanjie picked Kitty Girl. All great RuPaul songs.
Which one would you have picked?
Ooh. Based on the box. I'm not going to go based off the
Based
song.
on
Based off the song.
like the fabrics that they got. Yeah.
I still might have picked I Bring the Beat, honestly, because I do like holographic. I like that Georges had those kind of like neon colors. I think I could maybe do something with that better than what Georges did. We'll talk about it. I also didn't mind Nina's box either. The Cha Cha Bitch box was not bad. But what about y'all? What would y'all have picked?
I mean, based on the fabrics that they got, I would have chosen Cake and Candy because of the color palette.
Fair.
And probably when I saw Angie trying on, she was like confused in what she was trying to do. She was trying on a top and a skirt, kind of, and it was pink and purple. And I would have done something with pink and purple and would have gone maybe something like Polly Pocket with Cake and Candy.
Okay.
Like a Polly Pocket bakery or something. Theme.
Cute. I love that, actually. Yeah. Okay. What about you, David?
I think just based on the potential to do something outside of like a standard silhouette, Lady Cowboy would be a good way to go because you can really like switch up your style and really lean into like more of a character with whatever you're making. So
and that's exactly why Roxy picked the box that she did, because she was like, I don't want to go home without a design challenge win, and I want to challenge myself in this. So the thing that is objectively the most outside Roxy's comfort zone would have been Lady Cowboy. So I'm glad she picked it.
It was out of her comfort zone, but it was also one of the easiest to kind of find a direction to go to with the concept.
Absolutely.
Like Roxy's Plastique, which was Star Baby, so like something with like a starlet and then stars, literal stars.
Of course, yeah.
And then Got Mix, which was just like mixed metal, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Because the other ones you kind of had to think of how to, and the Christmas one, but then you had to think about how to fit the fabrics and your concept with the song.
Right.
So it was a little bit harder.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, I think, and I mean, as we kind of saw, like, there were the people that we knew were going to do well in this challenge were succeeding in the workroom, and the people that we thought would struggle a little bit were kind of struggling a little bit more than average. Roxy is really challenging herself, full on stoning chaps, and she brought me, I think, my favorite moment of this season, where she deadpan looks to the camera and goes, if you're ever on Drag Race, take the easy route. Don't stone shit.
I love when they break the fourth wall. Love.
Oh my god, I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I'm finally at a point. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm finally at a point now, I think 8 episodes into this season, where I'm like, I think I finally love Roxy Andrews on Drag Race. Because I love Roxy.
Oh.
I've never really loved her character on Drag Race before. I didn't love her character in All Stars 5. And I didn't really love, I thought she was fine on All Stars 2, but obviously she had the storyline that she did. So you couldn't really you were always like, oh, well, Roxy's still here. And that's really unfortunate for her. I'm so happy she's here now. And I'm finally at a point where I'm like, I really enjoy the character that is Roxy Andrews on Drag Race. Because she has always been one of my favorite Drag Race queens, just because look at the material.
Yeah.
But this
now
was
that
the
you
first
say
time.
I agree with you.
Because this was the first time this episode where I was like, I'm in love with the character of Roxy Andrews here. Like, I love it.
The Ken version of Roxy turned out to be the best one.
Honestly.
Who would have thunk? But now that you said it and I think about it, I've always liked Roxy more outside of Drag Race than on Drag Race.
Yeah.
Like, I love Roxy ever since I saw her on Drag Race, but I've always loved her more when I see her doing things outside of it. Like Roscoe's and other things. Like, yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, and for me, this episode, I think my favorite part was, like, the queens and everything that they showed in the workroom. For me, was, like, the best from this season. Because that part of the episodes usually were, like, kind of, and this one was really good.
Well, that's what was my next question, was what specific workroom moments stood out for y'all? Because the Roxy moment for me was it. Not it, but like
for
the moment.
Roxy, yes, and like the funny moment. But like for me, my favorite moment was during the walkthrough with Rue with Chanel.
Oh,
It just reminded me of how much I love Chanel ever since because like I started watching Drag Race on season 1, like in Chanel, when she went down that runway juggling, it changed something inside of me. Like she just is so iconic to me, and I was so happy to see her back, and she is doing well, but it just hurts to not see her excel in any challenges, even though she's like doing pretty well. So it was just so nice to see that exchange and to see that she opened up to Rue. So I just got so emotional. I just love her so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was definitely the standout moment for me. It really did help endear Chanel to me even more, because like I went into the season kind of like, oh, I do not like Chanel at all, and like she's really grown on me, and I want to see her do well in the competition. But my only issue though is she still thinks she quit season 1. She's like, I feel like I disappointed you when I eliminated myself. I'm like, girl, maybe you offered yourself up, but you still lost a lip sync, and that's how you were eliminated. You did not quit.
I will die on this hill. She still won that lip sync against Rebecca Glasscock for me.
I mean, maybe so. I would need to watch it again, and I did just watch it again, and I don't remember it. So,
well, David, that's your own fault.
But either way, RuPaul
fair.
told Rebecca to Shantae and told Chanel to sash away, which means you didn't quit. It means you were eliminated the standard way.
Okay,
but imagine if she had pulled a Ginny Lemon. That would have been so iconic. Season 1.
If she would have been the original Ginny Lemon.
Right? Oh my God.
I mean, that's basically what Tammy Brown did. Let's be honest. That's basically what Tammy
Another
did.
icon, honestly.
I love Tammy. I love Tammy.
Love.
Coupling with the workroom moment with Chanel, I really loved the workroom moment that we got with Gottmik as well, because I forget how close Rue and Gottmik actually are. And so their conversation was really lovely. And then Gottmik broke the social distancing workroom walkthrough and just went over and gave her a hug. And I was just like, this is the cutest moment ever. Like, I forget how close they are. And I think that's why, I think that also might be why Gottmik was so defeated during the roast stuff, because like the roast is kind of the funny thing that she is known for from her original season. It's that roast performance and her Snatch Game are really like some of the big standout moments from season 13 for her. So, and coupling that with disappointing RuPaul, like I think that all kind of just added into why she was just so in her head in that moment.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to add to Gottmik's roast. Like for me, stealing someone else's set and still not being the funniest and not being like actually like. But anyways.
Yeah.
I do also want to point out the moment we had with Georges and RuPaul, where RuPaul was like, "You really changed with that roast," it was the roast, and Georges was like, "Yes, I know, and I feel so different in the competition right now, and it's so obvious. Like, I'm getting a personality from Georges that I've been wanting to see. I've just never gotten personality until the past couple of episodes, and I'm really liking her now."
This is the most authentic I think we have ever seen Georges on Drag Race. Because I liked Georges on season 14, I did, but it all felt very 21-year-old queen on Drag Race, putting on this
felt very Laganja
situation.
season 6.
It did. It really, really did.
Very
this is the first time I think we are finally actually seeing Georges on Drag Race for her and her personality. Mind you, she is still 23 years old. The baby's got a lot of growing to do. But I'm glad, I agree with you completely, David. I'm so happy that we are seeing her personality finally shine. And we're seeing her as she is. And I saw the confidence in the last 2 weeks from her. And I'm really happy to see it. I wish she was doing better in the competition, I'll be honest. But I'm glad that, she's feeling the confidence that she deserves to feel. So
she's still doing better than I imagined she would. So I'm happy for her.
it's wild still that she only has one. She has not won a challenge since episode 1.
Mhm.
She's doing well.
She is.
She
Like I
hasn't won-
said, for me, she would have won the roast.
and the girl
She
group
could.
for me.
And the girl group. Yeah.
So, did anyone else have any workroom stuff that they want to dive into? Because I didn't have anything else that really stood out to me.
Not really. I mean, we did have the whole thing with Angeria having to switch up her look last minute.
Again.
Gown, jumpsuit. Neither
That's the one
is the
that-
answer.
I'm starting to learn how to
Me
sew,
too.
and like, I don't understand why she chose to do pants as a like, it's so much harder. I don't get it. Like, one thing for me that stood out from the workroom stuff was how much work they were putting. Like, it just amazes me, like, how much it takes to do everything that they do. Like, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Roxy, especially, like,
And then we even see the next day as they're getting ready for the runway, Plastique is still finishing her
Plastique.
look.
Yes.
She does a 30-minute mug, and as she said, it's the prettiest she's looked this season, and I have to agree. Like, I thought she was gorge, but
always.
And we have Nina with the gloves.
Yeah, also, why, if you don't know how to sew, why make gloves? It's one of the hardest things to make. Like,
Everybody's ambitious.
Anyways.
I appreciate the ambition from Nina specifically. I
Mhm.
really like it. I think it's very fun to see because, again, she can't go home.
Right.
Like, she can't go
And
home.
it actually
So why
turned
not?
out, like, so good. Like, she was,
We'll talk about it. I was
Yeah.
thoroughly impressed
Yeah.
with Miss West.
yeah.
But yes,
Of course,
I think
we saw that, like, Roxy helped her, but still. Like, the fact that she
Everyone
came
got-
up with the concept, like, yeah.
the way she had like the
Well,
world's
Roxy
smallest
helped
wrist
everyone.
on that glove. She had the
Right.
world's smallest. I was like, baby, you ain't fitting anything in there.
I was like, did you just measure one side? Girl.
Did you measure something else, Nina? I don't know. Anyway, on that note, I think we can. Boom.
Yes. My queen.
The best RuPaul look of the season.
You could be
I
right.
disagree.
Oh.
Oh.
You didn't
yeah.
like it?
No.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
It's not, I don't think it's a bad look at all.
Okay.
But the pink one, was it last week? That kind of looked like gum.
That was a
Not
good look.
gum, but like the
was
like
a good
the
look.
structured. For me, that was my favorite. I like the color, like the colors, the color combination, and I like the shape, the silhouette. I like the hair. I like the accessories. I just don't like the print.
Oh, see, I love the hypnotic nature of this print.
You too.
I really like it.
Usually, I love prints like this. Like this specific one, I don't love, but I do love the colors and like everything else.
That's fair. That's fair. I also am so happy, and I asked for it last week. And a year ago, they brought me my wish, and T.S. Madison is back on my screen, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
In wearing leopard.
Because of course. Because
Everything must be leopard.
Yes. Michelle looks great, and our guest judge is very incredibly famous designer Jeremy Scott.
Who?
He is very big into Moschino.
I believe it, but I have never heard of this man.
I've heard the name many times before, and I knew that he was like I don't know if designer, stylist, or something for like a big house. I just didn't know which one. I just knew that he was like iconic in the fashion world. So I mean, good to see him for a fashion challenge.
So he has his own label, but for 10 years he was the creative director for Moschino.
Okay, work.
Moschino?
Yes, David, that's a fashion label.
Okay. I'll
He
take your
is
word for it.
probably
Okay, so
Object-
David never watched Fashion Police. Moving
No.
on.
no. And River and I
God,
did. Thank you, Diva. Thank you.
please.
But no, objectively speaking, like based on like the celebrity status of all of the guest judges we've ever had on Drag Race, like he is probably one of the most high profile guest judges Drag Race has ever had.
Yeah.
And I know that means nothing to you, David, but like I love that we've had him on twice. And I'm happy he was here for a fashion challenge this time. Because as he talked about in Untucked, the last time he was here was for what was it? The Rusic on All Stars 2.
Oh,
Divas of Her Street. Divas of Her Street.
Divas.
Oh, yeah,
Ah,
that's
one
right.
of the best.
I loved him in Untucked.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I
right.
want to talk about it when we go through after we go through the runways because I loved Untucked this week. But
And he looks
yes, they
great.
all look-
I love the suit.
love
Because I love this. It's a suit which we expect, but it's in a fabric that we wouldn't expect.
It's so gay, and I love him.
And then
I love it.
going into the shoe that it looks like it's just one thing. I live.
I live. So, category is make your own kind of Rusic.
Ooh,
Now,
look at this background.
oh, thank you.
It's so good.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. As we always do, we're going to do a very quick run through of these looks because we do our extended thoughts and feelings on the look over on Look Over Here, where we're going to have a lot more than just the three of us. So that's going to be a fun episode you're not going to want to miss. But if you're watching this video at the time that it is dropping, you could go check out our Patreon right now for early access to Look Over Here with some other fun people. So you could go do that if you really wanted to, and we would appreciate it. So in categories, make your own kind of Rusic. We're going to do real quick word or phrase association for each of these looks and then move on from it. So first up, Plastique Tiara. David, why don't we start with you for this round?
Great effort, but some issues.
Me?
Go for it. Yeah.
So great. Well, actually, excellent concept, great execution.
How are we living in the same universe as Plastique Tiara? That's just what I would like to know.
We don't deserve it, honestly.
We are honored and blessed to be living in the same time as Plastique Tiara. And that's my commentary. Gorgeous like Georges, who had I Bring the Beat. Plastique had Star Baby, but you all know that from looking at the look. It was very obvious.
I say simple and expected.
Yeah, I was gonna say simple and effective.
Roxy did it better. On season.
Oh yeah, the reference. Yeah.
Roxy did it better. Sorry, Gary. Got Mac, who had new friends silver, old friends gold.
Good idea. Don't love the execution.
I agree. I'm just gonna second what David said. Yeah,
Fair.
honestly,
You can tell that there's so much work put into this,
that's the thing.
and yet it's still underwhelming
Hmm.
a little bit. Just a little bit.
But the effort.
Chanel with "Hey sis, it's Christmas."
Man, this kept bunching up.
Predictable, but good. Fine.
I wanted this to be better so Chanel could get a badge. Not bad though. Not bad.
Right. Serviceable look.
An adequate dress made of materials that is on her body.
That is on
The
her
comment
body.
I'm gonna make.
Exactly.
That's
Perfect.
that's the comment for
That's
sure.
the one.
Roxy Andrews in Lady Cowboy.
Finally, I agree with the Roxy win.
My only commentary is,
And I'm gonna follow that, River, with in the most positive way possible. Yes. Miss Vanjie doing Kitty Girl.
I really like this.
fit the assignment. I didn't expect this from Vanjie, though. The quality of the execution.
Very well
lining?
executed for for such a simple concept. That's that's what it is for me.
Yeah, exactly. And it fit perfect for the song. So.
And for Vanjie.
Mm-hmm.
This might be the most quintessential Vanjie look we've ever seen.
In this color of hair, again.
Yes.
Save it for look over here, kids.
No.
Okay, Dad.
Nina
I
West.
am the oldest.
Oh.
You are.
Ooh. Was this last? No, this isn't last.
No.
Okay.
I didn't say last.
I thought you said
I
last.
Nina West.
Oh, okay. The surprise of the night.
A great surprise.
Could have maybe been top 2.
Could.
Maybe. Thrilled. And last up, Angeria. She had Cake and Candy. Nina had Cha Cha Bitch. I forget which ones I said and which ones I didn't. It doesn't matter anymore now.
I'm actually really impressed with this.
Fine for a second look. Like a backup.
I was gonna say, given that this was like the third concept she went for, it's not bad. It's not bad. We've seen that hair before, though.
Oh yeah, on the ball, first look.
Thank you. I couldn't place it. I couldn't place the hair.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. I do want to talk Untucked, though, because I did love Jeremy Scott coming back and talking to all the girls and having his moment. And I also equally loved all of the messages from home that we got from all the queens. I thought those were also gorge.
My favorite part of Untucked was they showed a little bit more of Chanel's moment with Rue. And the part that they showed in Untucked and the whole story that Chanel told, it made me cry. I resonate with the story so much. And it just reminded me of why I love Chanel and just made me love her.
As someone that also definitely resonates with Chanel's story, I mean, she is slowly inching up there for me in like maybe top 5 favorite Drag Race queens of all time. Honestly, like I adore Chanel.
Like it's just as a person and as a drag queen, it's just
definitely.
Yeah, I mean the highlight for me was all the stuff with Jeremy Scott. Especially, I really liked his interaction with Gottmik. And I like seeing Violet Chachki in that camp outfit from the Met Gala.
Seeing Violet at the Met Gala again. So good.
Yeah, he even remembered Gottmik coming up before Gottmik was on Drag Race, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
But, I mean, he was a famous makeup artist before, so he knew a lot of people already.
Yeah, Cade was very, very much so involved in Hollywood before getting on Drag Race. So like that's why a lot of people still, even when referring to Gottmik on Drag Race, will still refer to him as Cade.
Right.
That's how most people in Hollywood at least know him.
Yeah.
And don't know her as Got Mick.
I've been listening to old podcasts from different seasons, and I was listening to like season 11, Race Chasers. And at one point, Willem was like, "Oh yeah, this makeup artist I know, Cade," and I'm like, "Oh, I know that one too."
Mhm. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then speaking of Got Mick, we got Mick's message from Nats and Gigi, who I love Gigi Gorgeous. I was so happy to see Gigi Gorgeous again. When is she going to be a guest judge on US Drag Race? That's my question for
For a
VH1
makeover
and
challenge,
Paramount+.
it would be perfect. Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
any challenge, honestly.
Yeah.
Except maybe comedy. Gigi's not the most funny.
Yeah.
Well,
Like comedy or
but
acting.
she's-
I don't know. Does she do any? No,
Yeah.
right?
But like look challenge, a ball. Gigi,
A ball,
because what was the
yeah.
challenge? What challenge did Gigi guest judge on Canada's Drag Race? I don't remember what challenge it was.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't remember. Was it the Rusic?
I don't
I've
know.
only
It might
seen
have been.
Canada once, so I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But I want to see more Gigi Gorgeous. And we got Chanel's message, which was adorable and lovely. And there was another message. I don't remember. Was there another message?
I
There
think
was
it was for
Roxy's-
Roxy.
Yeah, Roxy's
Roxy's partner. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. That was so adorable.
And she even said like that he's like so nervous and she never thought that he would record a message for her. So like that was so sweet.
I'm so happy Roxy found love. I love that. And then, oh my God. And then George is talking about dating is so hard. I'm like, girl, you're 23. Shut up.
But I mean, I understand the point she made though.
I do
Because
too.
I've heard many other drag queens have the same conversation. So
Yeah, I have too.
Mhm.
I definitely have too.
it's just, I guess the point is just like when you're 23, that shouldn't be your biggest worry. You know what I mean? Like,
No, it wasn't mine at 23. I can promise you that.
but it was
Um,
mine, so I get it.
Fair
Eh,
and valid.
We've all been there once.
Let's talk about our winners. Our top 2 of the week is Roxy and Plastique. I have to agree.
100%.
Yeah, they were my top 2 of the week. I know it might not have sounded like that because of what I said.
It
about
really
Plastic.
didn't.
No, there are nitpicks about it, but the effort absolutely wins out.
Oh, about
Um,
Plastique?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I have the same points as you, but like with the amount of work that she did, I can overlook it.
Right.
It was going to be Roxy and someone. It was just kind of a matter
Yeah.
of who the other person was.
Mm-hmm.
I still say it could have been Nina. And I am gagged that I am saying that in this year of 2024. It wasn't going to be, but I think Nina was a very close third for me.
Nina was gagged,
Nina was gagged.
right?
I mean, I had 3 people that I thought were up there as well. And that was Nina, Angeria, and Vanjie. Like, I would not have gotten Mick in the top 4 at all. Personally.
I did.
I know. I was just surprised.
I had Nina and Mick as my other
Yeah.
top 2.
Yeah, me too. I had Mick at 4.
Okay. Yeah, I
did
just wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't super impressed with it.
For me, like just for
Honestly,
the effort. Yeah.
Sure. I had a top 3, and then honestly, the rest of the girls were kind of all very middle for me. Like their scores
Pretty
are all
close,
very
right?
similar for me. Yeah, their scores are all
Yeah.
very similar for me. So, but we get Roxy and Plastique lip syncing to "No One Gets the Prize" by Diana Ross.
My first thought was I hope they know every single word to this song, because if they do not, in front of Ruth Paul, yeah, and hopefully they did.
Happy to report Plastique knew the words to a lip sync song this season. Yay!
And I'll say the first half of the song I was like, oh, Plastique's winning.
When they
and they
started,
kept showing her.
when they
Mhm.
started and they both walked to the back of the stage, turned around at the same time and walked, and the capes went flowing. In
This is my favorite lip sync of the season so far. I
Yes.
loved this lip sync. I absolutely love this lip sync. This is a Roxy Andrews masterclass for me, though.
She ate.
She
For
ate
me-
one down.
Devoured.
Oh my god.
Like,
Every second, every beat, every turnaround and look.
in this olive green jumpsuit cape that would
That
have
she
looked
made,
horrible on
probably.
anyone else. Oh, she
Mhm.
absolutely made that.
100%.
She absolutely made that. I thought this is Plastique's best lip sync of the season for me, also, by far.
Yeah.
Like, I loved this season. Has been a lot of lip syncs that have been good, but most of them have been very one-sided for me
Mhm.
personally. This is the first time that I was like, and someone said it on Twitter, I don't remember who, and I'm sorry for not directly acknowledging it. Someone was like, this is the absolute perfect example of old school drag versus new school drag. And I couldn't agree with you more.
100%.
Like, Plastique was still doing the stunts, and the stunts were good, and she did stunts that fit the vibe of the song, and I thought it was really good. But for me, the way that Roxy Andrews just commanded that stage, she hit all of the moments you needed to. She knew she needed to deliver a good performance to Diana Ross in front of RuPaul.
Mhm.
And that is exactly what she did, and she stays undefeated in lip syncs on Drag Race.
And here's why. I think Roxy I can see Roxy performing that song when she does shows. I don't see Plastique doing that song. So for me, Roxy embodied the song.
Definitely.
100%. From the jump.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, we all knew who was getting cut off as soon as they announced that Roxy won the challenge, and to nobody's surprise whatsoever, Angie gets blocked. Or cut off for the final time this season.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when they said it was the final time, I knew immediately Angie was going to get cut off, no matter who won.
Yeah.
I knew immediately. Immediately.
Especially having the other two queens with 3 badges in the top 2. Like,
Exactly.
there was no other option.
And Mick being just cut off, like they wouldn't. So it was just like obvious, the obvious choice.
Yeah.
To me.
Agreed.
Plastique
Well,
has won half of the episodes.
and no lip syncs.
No.
Well, I don't care about that. Like, look, Jimbo was my favorite in All Stars.
At the end of the day,
Oh.
but here's the thing, David. Here's why it matters. At the end of the day, she might have won half of the episodes so far in this season. She has won 0 money for her charity.
That's a flaw in the structure of the show. And also, if she wins, then she gets all the money for her charity. So,
And I'm sure
I
on the
mean,
last episode they're gonna be like, oh, and every charity gets.
Oh
like
yeah, no,
2
every
kilos
charity
or
is going to get
something.
money for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Every charity is going to get money because
yeah.
It is so gaggy to me that we are now done with the Ruby Snippers. Half of this cast was never cut off.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Including Plastique.
Including Plastique!
The only person who's won 4 challenges.
Plastique played the game Monet Exchange wanted to play. The social game.
Absolutely. I honestly think there's a little bit of luck involved in that because Plastique won all of the challenges she needed to not be cut off.
Yeah.
Because there was always a target. Plastique's math.
She was lucky there was always someone else that was better to cut off than her.
She cracked the code that Frisbee Jenkins thought that they broke.
She cracked the Sacha Bell code. She cracked the code.
Absolutely.
She did.
All right, David. Hit us with some draft news because I'm not happy about it.
Well, this is an interesting draft because, oh, how the mighty have fallen.
We know.
Somebody went from first place in the draft to last place in the draft. So Logan is now in 4th place with 46 points, but not by much. It's still a very close draft. In 3rd place is Brooke with 46.5 points. And then tied for 1st is myself and Kamorian with 48.5 points. So
How many episodes do we have left? 4?
4. So
Including the finale?
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Oh,
next week is the Rusical. Very excited. Finally a Rosemary's Baby Rusical. Thank you. so excited. I'm so excited. I don't know if you all can tell. I'm so excited. So excited. Anyway, I'm going to save my excitement for Look Over Here, which, spoiler, we're filming right after this. So thank you so much for joining us for our recap of episode 8 of Drag Race All-Stars Season 9. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share on the way out. Make sure to check out our Look Over Here episode where we are diving fully into the looks from this design challenge. And if you want early access to that Look Over Here episode, make sure to join our Patreon because it's going to go out at the same time that this episode does. So make sure to check that out. You can check the description below as well. Not for cats, but, you know, we love a cat cameo. But you can check out the description down below for all of our YouTube channel links, our audio podcasts, and where you can find our Patreon link as well. You can also follow us on our social media at The Cut Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can follow us down below as well, and you can get your merch, including but not limited to Cut Mug, down there as well. With all that being said, we're going to get out of here. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Next.